Hey guys, what's up? It's your boy Rick here, back again with another video. But this time it's about how to manufacture a promotion at your job. Um, I really like to talk about work, but sometimes I really just get into the nitty gritties of a job and people who have a job. Sometimes if you listen to me well enough, you know that I like to talk about work and that work is different to having a job. But I also understand that a lot of times we have to have a job, and in that job, you may as well make the most of what you have while you're in the job. And that's why I'm doing this video. Is there a science to getting a promotion at work? Can you deliberately set out to become a manager at your job? And, is it possible to set yourself that target to have your boss's job by whatever date and then do it? I want to say to you that it is. It's possible to do that. But let's talk about this. Let's just discuss this. Many times we secretly want a promotion. We secretly wish to get a promotion, but sometimes it's we're falsely humble, isn't it? We're trying. We don't want to be seen as cutthroat. We don't want to be seen as a little bit crazy. So we hold it in, but really deep inside we fantasize about what it would be like to have that promotion, to have that title, to have that position. Maybe to have the money that comes with it. And so, if you're going to be in a job, because I talk about your work being different and that, try not to work for other people, but sometimes you have to be in a job in order to, get, just get some money for you to survive. Sometimes you're just in there, maybe even preparing for when you go out to start something for yourself. But while you're in a job, getting a promotion can be a good thing. Many times, promotions come with a little bit of money. I know that, or even as a stepping stone to more money later on. I know that, when I worked in McDonald's, I realized that for me to then work for McDonald's corporate, because I didn't have a degree at the time, the best way would have been to work myself up to becoming a manager and then transfer and pivot my career in order to then work at the head office. That was something I wanted to do back in the day, but luckily I went another way. But then, do you know the other things? Because there is the other side. Promotion does have another side to it. It doesn't. Yes, it comes with more money at times, and that's at times. Sometimes there's not that much more money, but promotion is also going to come with more. It comes with more problems. It comes with more blame. You get blamed for stuff a little bit more when you're the manager. It comes with more things to learn. So a lot of times you have to actually have to do courses, internal courses and stuff. So are you willing to learn? It comes with more problems that you've got to solve. It comes with more cares that you got to give. You actually have to give a little bit, of a care when you're the manager. Sometimes when you're an employee, you can just jack it in and just like come in, sign in, and just like zonk out. But as the manager, you actually have to give a couple of cares. Yeah. So it's important to ask yourself, do you really want this before you go for it? But if you do, and this video is for if you do, here's a couple of useful tips that I got and that I'm going to give to you. Now, if you're enjoying this, if you like this, if you want to hear more about this kind of stuff, work, jobs, financial stuff, make sure to like the page. Make sure to like my page, Rick Matsoko Tere, and you'll get more. You will get notifications whenever another video or another article comes up. Make sure to like it. So, all right, if you decide to want it, if you decide you want it, practically there is a guide. See, in life is predictable. You can create your own path to greatness. The only difference between you and your boss right now, or you and the person who is in that position that you want, is what they did with their time up until now and what you did with your time up until now. So you can manufacture greatness. You can get there. And that's what I just want to show you. I'm going to show you some few tips here, but this is much bigger. You can get to where your boss is, the director of your department is, if you want. It's just, what are you willing to do with your time, and what did they do with their time? So, it may seem obvious if I say it right now, but the person you've got to now, if you want a promotion, the person you've got to concentrate on is the decision maker within your department or within your shop or within your company. That's just, some people don't think about that. Some people, they go ahead and do loads of good stuff, but then the decision maker doesn't ever know that you're doing this stuff. I know people who are really shy, so they never even tell their boss that they've done these things, or they never get to a point where their boss knows that they did something. Now, I'm not saying go and become a politician, always just campaigning for a job, unless that's just your character. However, there are things you can do to let that decision maker know that you're going for this job. It could be your boss, it could be the director, it could be that your boss's boss, it could be the owner, if owner of your business. If you work for a small business, it could be the owner who needs to know, but they need to see that you're doing stuff to help the business and the department and the team. What matters to that person? What matters to that person? Is it profit? Is it safety? Is it team cohesion? Is it, order and being organized? You need to just know it. Be intelligent. Like, watch the person, figure them out. This is where emotional intelligence comes in a little bit, and you can teach yourself emotional intelligence if you don't have it. Observe them. And sometimes they may say something with their mouth, but what do their actions say? What are the types of people that your manager always promotes ahead of you? What is it? Because those things are the kind of traits that you then have to find out. What problems are there that need to be solved in that department, in your company? You watch these things. And what annoys your boss? This is what I'm saying. So, here's a couple of useful tips. I give you. Number one, pay attention to your boss or the organization that you work in. Pay attention to it. Pay attention to their strengths and their weaknesses. Pay attention to their personality. Pay attention to their character. Pay attention to the company culture. That's a good thing. If you pay attention to, the place where you are right now, you can figure out what you need to do to get to the next level. A lot of people are just going around life just like, in a bit of a daze, really. Just like, whatever. But nobody's going to promote you if you're like that. Nobody's ever going to promote you. But if you just understand, discern, get your head up from whatever you're doing and understand what is happening. Because here's what you can do then with that. Companies, for example, they love to promote people who sing from their hymn sheet. So these are the people who know the company culture and they perpetuate it. If there's a catchphrase or slogan, these people know that catchphrase or slogan. You just get it in. I remember I worked in a company that was like safety was their big thing, and it got ridiculous. Like they were so into safety. But instead of trying to, because many people used to say, "Oh, we're adults. Why are you trying to make us, hold the handrail, for example, whenever you're going up or down some stairs?" But I realized that, hey, instead of like fighting this flow, let me just go with it. It's not going to kill me to follow some safety rules. So I started knowing the 5 golden safety rules of that company. I knew them in my sleep. Because I understood this is what it takes to be in that company. And companies love that. If you're in a company and you don't know what your company culture is, you're not gonna do very well. But also, what's the thing with your, let's say, also understand your team and its weaknesses and strengths. Now it's a two-way street on how you can do this with the weaknesses and with your company's strengths, for example. When you look at the company's strengths. So now you take your company or your department's strengths and weaknesses, the parts they're strong, the part they're weak, and then you look at your own gifts and what you bring to the table. And there's 2 ways you can do this. Number 1, you can accentuate what they're strong at. So let's say you guys are in a sales company and you are amazing at connecting with people. You can just make your connection with people, make that multiply how good your sales department is. Do you get what I mean? So you are strong at something that they're strong at, and you just multiply the effect. Or, and here's the second way you can do it, is that you take your strength, you figure out what your team are weak at, and then you cover that part. So you cover those bases. So again, let's say you're in a team that's a high performance team. Everybody's really high performance. Let's say it's a team of lawyers and everybody's real high performance and they really, really go for it, but it's very stressful. So you become the emotional rock of the team. Maybe that's your gift. So you become the emotional rock of the team and you come in and support the team in that part where they're weak. So it's like you're in a sports team and they're really, really good at offense, and then you go and become the captain of the defense. You become the captain of the defense. And you're saying, all right, you guys go and do what you do best, and I'll cover where you're a bit weak. I get a little bit excited about this. So pay attention. Pay attention to your boss. Pay attention to your teammates. Pay attention to your business, to your department. It's one way you can get a promotion. Number 2, you've got to tighten up your work game. All right. Now, this thing that's a lot of people talk about, which is that if you want to get your boss's job, learn how to do your boss's job better than your boss. So that when they move on or they get promoted, they will recommend you to become that boss. Now, that's amazing, and that's really, really good piece of advice. I was previously going to give it here, but I just, I've given it to you for free now. But that doesn't amount to a hill of beans if you are crap at the job you are in now. You've got to cover the bases. You got to cover the bases. If you're crap at your job right now, your boss isn't going to even notice that you're good at a job you're not even paid to do. Become good at the job you're being paid to do. Make sure you cover your training, your basic training and everything like that, and just make sure you're good at that. Become diligent at your job. And you can then move on after that. After you've covered these bases, then you can say, okay, now I can go for my boss's job. Yeah, that's the number 2. Tighten up your own work game. Tip number 3, make your boss look good in front of her boss. Do you know how many people go around and bitch about their boss to someone else in the hope that they're going to get their boss fired or demoted, and then they get it? And they think that's how they're going to get, or they're trying to get in with the top manager so that they can, so they use trying to bring down other people, maybe even your boss, to get in with somebody. No, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. Number 1, you show yourself to be untrustworthy, and you show yourself to be, your ambition is just too much. Nobody will trust you. Nobody will trust you. So, all right, let's say you're that ambitious. You want to become your boss, and then you whenever your boss is not there, you go to her boss and you're saying, look at what this girl does. Look at it. Now, that person will probably think, well, if she promotes you to come under her, and then you're now directly under her, you're going to do exactly the same to her. So why should she promote you? So don't think about it. Instead, if you talk well about your boss, even when she's not there, and make her look good all the time, eventually we'll get back to her. And again, she'll be more willing to offer you up as the logical replacement when she gets put up. And obviously, you are going to, if you do it well, you're going to get your boss promoted. And she will be very willing to say, all right, you take my position, if she's the decision maker there. You are so much more. I believe in building your empire on good. Don't play the politics, those company politics, making people look bad. Make people look good instead. And lastly, start using your soft skills and talents when you're at work. A lot of times, our jobs have technical things. Let's say, I don't know, it's you know how to use Microsoft Excel. You're an administrator in the office and you're good at using Microsoft Excel. And basically, you do those things, those basic things. That's what you do, and nothing else. Literally, you get into the office, you sit down, you switch off the rest of your humanity, and you just do that thing that's in your job description. That doesn't work. That's not good. What you should do instead is then bring out your human side, your emotions, solve interesting problems and complex problems that were never in the manual, that you were never taught at university. become emotionally intelligent and gauge the atmosphere of a room, and then either raise it up if you need to, or like calm people down if you need to, whatever. Mentor some junior staff members when it's not even your job. Do that. Come and guide them, and single-handedly reduce the number of people who quit in your team, and that will be noticed. You'll be seen doing that. Apply empathy. These are all things that are overlooked, and I want to encourage you to use these tips to go and get your promotion, because you don't have to be, just like moaning about how you're in a crappy job right now. You can do the best while you're in your job right now, and these skills will be something that you can take later on to something else. It's totally possible to make something of your life, and your job is no exception. I just encourage you to go ahead, use these things, and again, like the video. Let me know if you like these kind of things. Let me know what you think about these tips. Give me some more tips. Comment in the comments below, and let us know what you think. See you later, guys. Bye.